You know what blows my mind in the insurance industry is how many people, how many agents, how many intelligent people take things and they complicate the hell out of it. Like they take the hardest possible route to success. Like they want, well, what do I do? What do I do? It's like, what kind of leads do I need? You're asking the wrong question. It's like, how can I do more with less? It's like, how can I work 10 times less and earn 10 times more? Believe it or not everybody wants to work 80-hour days like Alex Hormozy. I like that dude. I used to love watching his content. But not everybody wants to work all the time, and he says that in his videos. Like, can we first just agree that not everybody we like is right about everything, and not everybody we don't like is wrong about everything? 95% of the content that I watch or listen to or consume are people that I absolutely hate. Why? Because you will learn more by chewing on what you disagree with rather than being in the same echo chamber every time. Like, quit listening to people and believing everything they say is law. Okay, like there's more than one way. There's more than one way. I know the school system teaches completely against that, but it's like what most insurance agents do. So this is A, and what they'll do is they'll buy leads from this little blob right here. They'll buy leads from the blob, and what they'll do is they'll come down here and they'll talk to N. That doesn't work. They didn't buy. Then they'll come over here and they'll talk to M. They didn't buy. I didn't buy the policy from them. I don't know who taught them to sell. It definitely wasn't me. Because I'd have bought it. No, we ain't going to go into that. Over here, this is C. Down here, and you get the point. And here's all the doors separating all these people. And you just keep making your way. It's like I'm just throwing all this effort into multiple different spots. Like you ever tried casting 18 fishing like rods at the same time? I went fishing with my buddy Justin the other day. I made some really funny ads trying to fish on land to prove a point. But we were constantly running down to chase all of our poles, and it's like fish were getting away, a pole getting dragged into the water, had to go swim after it. But it was funny, but it's like our effort was split between so many different things that we didn't know which line was going to bite and actually reel in a fish. And so this is what most agents' careers look like. And what's so funny is that this frustrates them so bad that they keep going back to this is U, and U is upline, A is agent, and this is S, the Serpent. These are the Serpent lead vendors that in the Bible, like obviously Satan is referred to as that old serpent. And so I see no more befitting description for these soulless creatures. They only, if you notice, they like to hide in the tall grass, so you got to keep it mowed, all right? A lesson for all you ladies out there too, no man. We're not even going to go into that. There's kids listening. Kids, stay out of the tall grass. That's all I'm going to tell you. You're welcome. I'm not even going to cuss in this video. And this person tells you to go over here, and this person sells you all this stuff. And it's like, we're just gonna throw all these fishing lines out in the water, and here's week 2. And these are new people. You didn't even follow up with them. You thought new leads was the lifeblood. We've all heard that, right? These are cute. These are cute things that like to be rehearsed in this game of telephone we call the insurance industry. And what was so funny is I saw this back in my old company when I was starting to do this. I was like, because I've always been super interested in physics. Like how are you not interested in the laws and the principles that govern things? Like it's – It's, It's absolutely fascinating. Like, how does this make a line? Like I want to understand the things that prop up what we purport as reality. So it's absolutely mesmerizing to me, but I'm a nerd. I have no problem admitting that. But I'm not playing like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon. So these are all the doors separating the people. But what I realized is like most people just view this the wrong way. Like stop throwing out all these fishing lines. There has to be a better way. And so what I decided to do was to grow my own body, because I got a big head up here. And what I decided to do was just build a platform and change these from people trying to fish for me. And so I built a little stage to stand on. And what I did was I went somewhere with my monies. I said, screw this dude. I chopped the serpent's head off, because that's what should happen. And I said, you don't know anything you're talking about. You're overweight. What are you doing telling me to lose weight? So you eat too many grandma's sugar cookies. Don't talk to me. And so I had to develop my own mind, because I realized these people wanted me to be a version of myself that served them best, not myself best and the people that I cared about best. And so what I did was I took my money that I didn't have, that I had to borrow. And I said, hey, Zuckerberg, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my monies. Can you give me all of this and inverse this equation for me? Like, I'm going to pay you and you're going to send these people to me instead of me buying these people and like sending myself to them. Believe it or not, the insurance agent's biggest problem isn't that you need more leads, is that you need to become a leader to these people. What is the root word of leader? Lead. You need to lead these people to you. You need to lead them to water. And what you do is if you put salt in. How many of you have heard, if you've ever heard, there's a saying that goes around that I hate. It's like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's BS. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. One, you have to make it effortless. And two, you have to make them think it was their idea to become thirsty. What do? You put salt in their food. You feed them. You feed them what they want in order to sell them what they need. Like if you read the Bible, Jesus, he didn't go out there and we know what these people need as agents. We do. We know they need protection. We know most of them are in a life of poverty. They're in a pit of poverty, and we want to get them to the pinnacles of prosperity. But guess what? They're all hungry. Jesus understood that. Or Yahshua, hey, so I don't know where they got the name Jesus from. There's so many different things out there. But Jesus understood something that was very unique. He fed them first because he knew they couldn't hear his message over the growling of their stomachs. So he put salt in their food. Basically what he did, said, come listen to my word after this. He fed them, so then they would listen to his message. It's in the Bible, guys. How crazy, how cool is that? Bible's not a book about religion. And so what I decided to do is pay Zuckerberg for my money, and I put salt in all these people's foods in the form of content, emails, ads, all kinds of stuff. And instead, this started going my way. I became a lead to them rather than them being a lead to me. If you ever notice, and there's 8 billion people in the world, you're not going to be the first one to prove this wrong, what I'm about to say. Go chase a girl and watch what happens. They run away. They freak out. If I went to a girl oh my God, you're so beautiful. It's I'd love to take you on a date. She's like, I have a boyfriend. Then they lie, of course. But go do it. If a girl just ran up to, I would argue most men, if a girl came running up to them, they'd probably already wet their pants. But it's 20 years ago when dudes were men and they didn't know whether or not they wanted to mutilate themselves. If a girl came running up to a guy, he thought she was crazy, and vice versa. When you chase somebody, they repel you. So understand that. Understand that. It's how relationships work. If you're chasing them, you look desperate to them. But if they're chasing you, they look desperate to you. And because, if you go act like that towards a girl. She thinks of you as needy, and she don't need you, okay? She wants the guy who doesn't want her. Isn't that funny? The things we want don't want us back. And because we want to make sales, we go out to these people. What are you doing in the house? Come on, bro. I don't want to kill you, but go find a corner to hide in. You can hang out for a little bit. Where was I at? Framework. But it's so funny, right? So when you come off as needy to work your leads, they don't need you. But when you come off as you don't need them, and you are the lead, like just make yourself findable for the people who have what you want. Put salt in their food and make them thirsty. Give them what they want in order to sell them what they need. And so what I did was I built a platform, and instead of going one by one by one by one, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 22 people right here. Instead of me going to talk to 22 people one-on-one, I talk to them all at the same time on the same platform. How much smarter is that? What would have taken me 22 hours to do in just sales call time, that's a clock, I can do in 1 hour. How many of you want to work 1 hour and make 22 sales rather than work 22 hours and make 1 sale? Right? Like how much smarter is that? How much easier is that? It blows my mind. And people act like this is so much harder. No, and the thing, well, Mason, I don't want to speak on a stage. You don't have to. You can record it once and it'll work for you forever. How much more efficient is that? Like that vacation you want to take your family on. I don't care how much money you work doing this one by one, you'll never have the time to enjoy it. And believe it or not, doing this, over the first example that I showed you, you actually make more money in less time. Which means that vacation you want to take your family on, like, and actually spend some time with the people you love, rather than, like, you're not Alex Hormozy. Like, that dude is a freak of nature. Nothing, like, hats off to him. He's built something absolutely amazing. Him and Layla have made some absolutely, like, awesome content. I love the mission, but it's like, understand you are not them. I am not them, and I don't want to be them. I don't want to work. I don't want to date a girl who's in my, like, I don't want to do that. They're the exception to the rule. They're the exception to the rule. Like, you probably are not. Now, how do you become the exception to the rule? You follow your own path. Like, you take the path of least resistance. If you notice, like, water going through a lake, is it like, well, I'm going to go around this tree, up on the bank, and over the moon? No, it's like, I'm going to take the path of least resistance. And there's a 4-letter word, which is where I came up with the word for prosperitin. Prosper means to flow. So a prosperitin is an insurance agent that flows. It's a salesperson that flows. How do things in nature grow? They ebb and flow. The trees outside don't go struggle, struggle, struggle. No, they go ebb and flow. Nature is concise. Like, nature is precise. I think we can model that. It just comes down to the laws of nature. Like, why I quit teaching so many tactics? It's because it's not what you need. You need a clear vision. Like, you need the what and when to do the things. Like, the strategy is the how, or the tactics is the how. The strategy is the where and the when to do the how. Because if you do the how in the wrong place at the wrong time, it's the wrong thing. Even if it's the right thing at the wrong time, because you did the right thing at the wrong time, it now makes it the wrong thing. Okay? But understand, principles cannot be defied. And it's like, why I use this is because I'm not trying to work against nature. I'm working with nature. I'm taking, like, the law of conservation of energy. I'm just changing the form. So understand this, please, because principles will work for me and you if you apply them. They've worked for everybody that's ever applied them, actually. And it's so funny. And the moment you try to fight against these principles and you start trying to do this where you're casting a bunch of lines out rather than letting a bunch of people cast their lines at you, it's like you don't need to go find more people. You need to make yourself more findable. You need to put salt in these people's foods to the point they get so thirsty they beg you for a drink. And do that ethically. Do that ethically. If you're some douchebag trying to just make a bunch of money off people, like if you're a fearmonger, like I will find you. I absolutely will. And I know you got little pee-wee arms. I'd pick you up one hand. These people drive me nuts. Evil people should be sent where these people should be sent. Chop and block. What's so funny is in the Bible, God says you should kill people who steal. Interesting. What are these people doing? Stealing your life, stealing your money, stealing your time away from the most precious things to you in your life. Am I saying they should be killed physically? No. Metaphorically, absolutely. They're terrible people. 99% of them are. They're fearmongers. They practice witchcraft. Understand, watch, pay attention to the structure of the language they use. Pay attention. Seek and you shall find. Seek and you shall find. Except the lead vendors want you to play hide and go seek. They want you playing hide and go seek rather than seek and be found. But understand, this is way more efficient. What's funny is this is all the money they're throwing at you. Rather than you throwing your time at them. Isn't it funny how when you flip the equation, it actually works way better? It's I don't know who in their right mind would keep buying leads after this. You'd have to be clinically insane. But you kind of have to be clinically insane to become an insurance agent, if I'm right. So, and you'd have to be insane to prove you were sane. That's the funny thing. Isn't this journey we call life so fascinating? Things we learn, how we grow, how things grow. But just understand, this is the way, young Padawan. This is the way. So if you want to know how to put this into your business, I'm hosting the Write More Policies Challenge. You need to go check it out. If you actually want to work 10 times less and earn 10 times more, and I promise you, if you adopt this before the FCC comes, you will build a platform. You will build an audience and you will build a business. How nice is it going to be when you're able to start here's your bucket list of all the places you want to go. We have Egypt, Ibiza, Israel, France, London, Bora Bora. And what's funny is that when you start using this, you can start marking this stuff off before you die. That car you want, you can buy it. That house you want to take your kids in with a nice neighborhood and in a safe place. You can buy it with this. You can't with that. You might be able to, but you'll never be able to enjoy it. You'll be paying home hospice nurse if you keep listening to these. I said I wasn't going to cuss. These, I'll put it in an epigram. These frickin' cowards. That's what they are. They want you broke as a joke. I'm serious. They want you dependent on them. These are no different than the pharmaceutical companies selling your grandma pills that you don't need. Well, you're a diabetic. You need some more pills. No, she don't need sugar cubes and pills. How about we change the diet? How about we fix the root cause for once in our life? Instead of bouncing around from snake to snake, let's chop the head off of the serpent and cut the grass so they quit coming back. Let's fix the root cause for once in your life. All right? So go to writemorepolicies.com. I'll show you how to put this in your business. That way you can stop being poor. If you keep listening to these people, you will stay in poverty forever and you'll be miserably comfortable. That sounds like a terrible life to live. And think about the example you set for your children. Your kids will do what you do, not what you tell them to do. Okay? This is insanity. This is insanity. And you're too smart and intelligent for that. Stop listening to these people. They're terrible. They're terrible. All they want is your money. That's all they care about. They want your money so they can go buy Lamborghinis to impress people that they don't like, but they need to feel like they need them. Guess what? I don't want your money. I want your heart. Because once I have your heart, I can change your habits. All right? That's it. That's it. This is way more enjoyable. You get way more out of business in life. You get way more out of your relationships with your customers. Over here, you won't be worried about money, so you'll focus on these people rather than paying these people. You'll be robbing these people to pay these people. One day there's going to be a knock on the door from the debt collectors that these people both sent you to saying, I want my money today. Like, are you not tired of living like that? I got tired of living like that. It's insanity, and you're too smart for that. So stop it. Stop it. The truth is right in front of you. It's elegant. It's simple. Stop wasting your time to trade it for money to give it to these idiots. People couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper sack. Start doing this. That way you can start doing this. And you can start having this, okay? So go to writemorepolicies.com. I'll see you on the challenge if you're up for it. Like if you're tired of living like that. I got tired of living like that, and I'm sure you are as well. Or I'm sure your agents are. So go to writemorepolicies.com. I'll see you over there, Prosperitan.